Hello everybody, just wanted to give you a quick run through of a few days of the CDL NTI work for myself and Miss WAlred. Just wanted to remind you, here's our contact information. You have Miss WAlred's email and Miss WAlred's number at school with her extension. You also have my email as well as a number that you can get in contact with me anytime, and then my number at school. Remember, for the first day off that we were off last Monday, you were to create a biographical essay on a family member using the questionnaire provided to interview a family member, whether it was your mom, your dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, etc. Once the interview is complete, you use that information to construct a biographical essay using the outline to help you to construct your essay. And when it was due, you need to be turning these things in now. So as you see on the next few pages, you were to choose some questions under each category to ask to help you to write your paper. So that's just some of the questions you could ask. And then here is the outline. Remember, this was a 5-paragraph essay. Paragraph 1, the introduction, was to do the early life of the person you were interviewing, their birthplace, their date of birth, some background on their family and their childhood, if they went to school, if they went to college, what were some things they done as a young adult. Then move into your body paragraphs, which would be 2, 3, and 4. Talk about their marriage, their children, some of their personal life, notable events in their life. Were they inducted into a Hall of Fame? Did they receive some type of special award? Were they elected to an office? What were some of their accomplishments? You can go back into notable events, personality traits. Did they volunteer for charity? Did they like to help people? Were they more of a loner? So on and so forth. And any other information that you conducted during your interview that would be beneficial to help build your body paragraphs. Then your conclusion, as always, is just a summary to wrap up what you talked about in the other paragraphs. Give your opinion on them based on what you have learned during your research, and then summarize the information. And it would be nice for you to create a cover page with the title of your paper, your name, the date that you done it, and if at all possible, if you could get a picture of that person to put on there. And remember, you can type this and just email it to me or Miss WAlred, and we'll make sure you get a grade. For day 2, which was last Tuesday, you were to read 2 poems. Both poems focus on advice for life given from a father to his child. Then answer the questions that accompany the poems. On a sheet of paper, construct your own poem giving advice to a young person. So you were to read over these 2 poems. To do this assignment, you will begin by reading these 2 poems. If you need me to read the poems to you, please let me know, and I'll be happy to do so. So what you're going to do is you're going to read through these poems. There's 2 of them. And then what you'll do is come to the questions. There's some different questions here that talk about just the poems in general, and some what-ifs and whatnot, and characteristics of the author. Then there's some things on vocabulary and so forth, where you match some vocabulary words up to their meanings. And then figurative language. Write an example from the poem of each of the following figures: metaphor, personification, and metaphors you find in the poem. Remember, metaphors are comparisons using like or as. Personification is when you give human-like characteristics to something like a cup or something. There's the other poem you're going to read, so you'll read through it. And then you're going to construct your own poem to give advice to a young person, like your younger brother or sister, your cousin, niece, nephew, so on and so forth. Day 3, or day 10 in NTI terms, from last Wednesday, you will create your own comic strip. You may choose to do this outline with a comic creator, or you may use the template provided to create your own comic. Your comic strip will have at least 6 frames. Read over the checklist provided to make sure you include all of the elements listed. Comic strip ideas: tell a funny story, tell a story about yourself. Create a comic strip based on your current or a historical event. Create a comic based on your favorite book or short story. There are many ideas and resources for comic strips on the website. The website Go to Make Believe Comics is going to have a bunch of different examples. Or you may want to create, did you have a birthday party recently? If you play a sport, you may want to create a comic about a ball game. If you like to go 4-wheeling and hiking, you might want to talk about the most recent time you went camping or 4-wheeling. If you like to go shopping and something happened at the mall, so on and so forth. You can use the website makebelievecomics.com to be able to make your comic, and you can email it to your school email address and print it in the computer lab. Or just email it would probably be the easiest thing. Email it to myself or Miss WAlred and not worry about printing it. Or you can use this template here to be able to do it. And you can, if you don't have access to a printer at home, you can always just get you a sheet of notebook paper or a sheet of typing paper, draw these boxes, and work on your comic. Right here is a checklist for what needs to be in it. You must have a title, must have an author. Of course, you are the author. A comic strip shows a cause and effect. So, for example, if you choose that you went four-wheeling and maybe you wrecked. So, your cause would be maybe you hit a rock and your four-wheeler wrecked. And wrecking would be the effect. Your comic strip must have at least 6 panels. However, you can have more to tell the story. You have an illustration in each panel. That means you must have a picture. Now, I know we're not all artists. I'm definitely not an artist. I can barely draw a stick person. But try your best and be sure to add some colors, okay? And do this to the best of your ability. And you should have at least one sentence in your comic strip. And do your best to spell the words correctly. We're not going to count off for spelling, but you can use spell check on your phone or on your computer if you need to. And be sure to begin each sentence with a capital letter and end in punctuation, such as a question mark, period, or exclamation point. And then for days 4 through 8, what I have done, what Miss WAlred and I have done, is we've gave you some different grammar things. And in a few days, I'll go over some of these in depth. But for now, you can just kind of look through the worksheets. And if you have any questions, you can email. But just do a few a day. And if you don't have your packet and don't have access to a printer, again, you can write this on notebook paper. But please remember to be taking pictures of these things and sending them to either me or Miss WAlred so we can get your grades due. And if you're not sure about something, we're just asking you to try your best. And in another couple of days, I'll do a few of these and upload them. Thank you. Goodbye.